Tupac knew that that they were trying to kill him, but there was just only so much he could do about it, and so he thought that if he played along for a bit longer with death row, he could figure out a way to get out of it, to get out of the targeting. Obviously, it didn't. But yeah, if you want to ask some questions, I'd love to answer some of your questions. Anything you got from the book.
I just wanted to know, why did you choose Tupac Shakur?
Well, I was investigating his family for a novel that I was writing, because I had a character in a novel I was writing about drugs in society, and the use, in a nutshell, I'll just say the use of drugs to sedate, divide, and oppress the masses, because that's my job. I do drug and alcohol counseling for a living. And this was a character. He was, a young black male. And when I read about the Shakur family and how inspirational they were, and then I heard about some targeting of Tupac in 1994. I thought, people just don't know that this is going on. Nobody's talking about this, but it sounds like he's being targeted in the same way his family was targeted. And so I just called his lawyer, his New York trial lawyer, just cold called him and said, do you think they're targeting him like they target his family? He said yes, and no one's writing about it. So I had just started with Tupac and just wanted to get the word out there on him, just in an article. And so I got more and more into it. His New York trial lawyer, Michael Tweef Warren, gave me a 2-hour interview because he'd heard of the other the magazines I was trying to submit it to, these leftist magazines, they're national magazines. And so it was really just supposed, the book was really just supposed to be about Tupac. But when I saw how it overlapped the targeting of all these other incredible leaders, I just said, I can't leave this information out of there. But it was just incredible how many resources were put into targeting this 25-year-old black man, and to see the same tactics used against these other leaders. I thought, well, Tupac is beloved by a current generation that's that's
diverse.
That's diverse.
He has a lot of international following.
Diverse and is relatively young, but I'd say, when I say young, I say between 15 and 35 at that time when I was doing this. And I was like, that's an important generation. Whereas a lot of these other people, they are a little more past history. And I didn't want to make this about past history. I wanted to make this about the here and now, what's going on now. And I thought, this is a way to teach the people of this generation about history.
Yes. Through
someone they love, like Tupac.
Yes, and it was, I must say, it was a brilliant idea to bring in the youth and the people that love Tupac, because I think that even if you were born today, you'll somehow, some way know who Tupac was and still is, because you have a book out. Is it deeper than just the leaders that you put in the book?
I think so. Yeah, I do think so, and I think it's I think this elite, this I call it oligarchy of people are so bigoted that it's a problem. They're bigoted against people of color in general, and any other ethnic group that challenges their power. So that's why we had Nazi Germany, for example. I think they were probably behind funding that. That's how bigoted they are. That's why we had the eugenics movement before Nazi Germany. But I think it's particularly and brutally and horribly racist against black people, and it's brutal, but not as brutal against other people of color. And then it's still bigoted, but not as bad, of course, against other ethnic groups.
Yes.
So I do think the whole prison industrial complex is a huge problem. But of course,
it may be the hugest.
It may be. That's why I get into this penal coercion chapter. That the things that were used against Tupac, now they're using them more and more against so many people. Isolating them with sensory deprivation, like 23 and a half hours a day in solitary confinement. Messing up people's minds that way. It's just unbelievable. So, and the problem is, I did get into more of that stuff, but I thought the book I couldn't sell a book like that. That was 800 pages.
Right.
So yeah, people look at it now and they still think it's too big to buy. Sometimes, you know.
No, I went through it in 2 days,
good.
And I must say,
wow.
It kept me on the edge.
Thanks a lot.
How do you say your name?
Potash.
Potash. I've been saying John Potash, but it's John Potash. You know, he has the courage to put a book out like this. I'm thankful for that.
Thanks a lot.
You know, forwarded by Pam Africa and Fred Hampton Jr. So, you know, he has, you know, On the Move with him and Panther Party.
Yeah.
So he's definitely co-signed by some people that lived through the struggle. And he put a lot of people in the struggle, but I know that the struggle that people are going to be going through on a daily, hourly, second basis, it's not just a black and white and red and yellow problem. This is a human being problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just want to say though, thank God for bookstores like yours, like Black and Noble Books, because
excuse me.
Black and Noble Books.
You.
I'm sorry, but yeah, you know, if I would have written this and we didn't have bookstores like yours, it would have been writing in a vacuum. You know, when we couldn't get it out there to people. Your bookstore is just so, you know, important and vital to get these ideas out there to people. So, and I know it's not easy. I know you struggle. I'm sure you struggle to keep this bookstore open all the time. And it's great that you do, and it's great that you give a space for people like us.
It's an outlet for any writers that have a book. This is the place to come. But we definitely having you here tonight. There's no limit who's going to show up here. So for you to put the book out, we're thankful.
You're very welcome. Thanks so much for having me here.
Yes.